Chrysler game summary, you see pretty good shooting for both teams, but the free throw advantage for the Kings. And those points, they've gotten 7 at a 1-point game.
Well, Mike Bibby is in such a rhythm right now. To start out the game, he gets a steal against Sam Cassell. They were very aggressive. He had 2 steals on the screen roll. Comes off the little rub screen there, knocks in the jump shot. Sam Cassell goes underneath the screen. He steps back and hits a 3. And you see him do the same thing here. Trent Hassel steps out, then leads him. He knocks in another 3. Drives the ball to the basket, gets all the way. And, you know, Mike Bibby's mixing up his game. Again, he's not going to beat you with great speed or quickness, but he has the ability to get where he wants to get out on the floor. And his level of confidence right now matches, Kevin, what you talked about 2 years ago in the playoffs when he was spectacular in his runs against Dallas and the Lakers.
Kings have led by 11. The Timberwolves have led by as many as 2. They've had a lead change in 4 ties. Bibby, Christie, Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, and Stojakovic with the ball. Stojakovic 2 of 8. Here comes Webber, and he is 3 of 9. Doug Christie for 2, and Christie is 2 of 5. He's got 4, and the Kings by 3. Cassell, Johnson, Garnett, Sprewell, and the guy with the ball, Trenton Hassel, whose shot just continues to fall. 6 of 8, a Minnesota high 13 points.
Well, I think we talked about the entire first half. They're going to help off of him, and they're going to force him to be a jump shooter. And right now, he's making everything. So he's keeping Minnesota in the game with his shooting.
Sacramento led by 7 at the end of 1. A first quarter that saw Bibby put in 14. Here's Christie with no place to turn. There's a rebound by Irvin Johnson. He collects his 5th of the game.
Cassell loves to come down in these situations and pull up and shoot the ball. You have to be really aware of him on that little transition action.
Here comes Minnesota looking for a lead for the first time since the first minute of the game, and a traveling violation on KG.
You know, Chris Webber has done a good job defensively. I mean, Kevin Garnett's had some very good shots. He's only 5 of 13, but they're forcing him to make a lot of jump shots or digging back and giving help. And Kevin Garnett a little out of sync right now here on the offensive end. His rebounding and defense and assists are great, but he's just a little out of sync with his shooting.
Webber is screen, and the one thing about Stojakovic that shows he's got one of the quickest releases in the NBA.
You know, it's like a gunfighter in the West. His hands are ready to pull the trigger. He lets it go as soon as he catches it, man.
That's exactly right. Asia's got 8. Sam Cassell. And again, the Timberwolves creep to within 1. Minnesota, the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and Sacramento, the number 4 seed. Divac the screen, and Bibby works around that in the mismatch with Irvin Johnson. It's Garnett getting his 12th rebound. And Sam Cassell. And the Timberwolves have their first lead since a 4-2 mark early in the game.
It looks to me like Minnesota, that run at the end of the half, calmed them down. They got themselves back into the game. Now they're playing in a much better rhythm, Kevin. I thought early they were way too quick with everything they were doing, playing too excited.
It's Webber against Kevin Garnett. A nice, easy channel touch by Webber, who is 4 of 10 with 10 points. A game-high 18 by Mike Bibby.
Now, Kevin Garnett is first league all-defense, so Chris Webber is playing against one of the better defensive players in the league at that position.
Cassell lost the ball, and turnovers have been the bugaboo for the Timberwolves tonight. They've got 11, 4 for the Kings, and Webber picked up by KG. Stojakovic working on Trenton Hassel, known for his defense. Asia. Rebound, Divac fighting with Irvin Johnson, who gets the ball and kicks it out to Garnett. The Kings back well in transition defense. And Cassell with a lot of purple around him. Rebound by Stojakovic, number 3.
See, Sam gets in that lane. He shoots over smaller guards. It's tough to guard him with a smaller player.
Bibby tries to carve his way inside with a Minnesota foul. Garnett was defending, and Sprewell is picking up his first as we send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Kevin and Doug, as you guys have already mentioned, the turnovers by the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday. Coach Saunders says that was going to be the key coming into the series, is how well his team was going to be able to take care of the ball. As far as Mike Bibby is concerned, he said, look, this guy's going to score baskets. It's because he's being so aggressive offensively. Obviously, the second half, we have to limit his touches. The last key, he felt that the team defensively played well in the second quarter, only held the Kings Kings, the 14 points, guys.
Thank you, Cheryl. You know, Cheryl talks about the turnovers. Minnesota had the second fewest turnovers in the regular season in the NBA. You mentioned it early in the game, but it's still surprising they got 11 tonight.
Well, they had 6 or 7 real early. I think they've settled down. They're doing a better job taking care of the ball.
Garnett with an Irvin Johnson foul inside as he goes colliding with Divac. He picks up a scrape on his elbow, and that is the second on Irvin Johnson.
You know, it's tough to find any weaknesses in Kevin Garnett's game. I mean, he's, you know, his rebounding, his passing, his passion, his defense, everything. But one area I'd like to see him do a little bit, I'd like to see him get to the free throw line more. He's taken 15 shots tonight, 14 shots, and has not attempted a free throw.
Kings have led by as many as 11, shooting 45% from the field. It's Bibby guarded by Sprewell. Here comes Weber, and outside a wide open Divac with the move on Johnson, who picks up the Minnesota foul. That's the third on Irvin Johnson.
See, people don't realize what a great rebounder Kevin Garnett is. And interestingly enough, you look at his top rebounding games in his career, and 4 to 5 come against Sacramento. This year he had a 25 rebound game. He had 33 points in that game as well, hit 2 critical threes late. They win in Sacramento. They won both games in Sacramento, which gives them a lot of confidence in this series.
And that is a foul, and it's called on Trenton Hassel, just hitting on that rebounding theme. In the 4-game series between these two teams in the regular season, the Timberwolves were plus 26 overall in rebounding. Nice shot. They get it. Bibby now with 21 points, 8 of 14.
See, Sacramento's gone back to that style they played early in the year where their big men are out and they're moving off those guys. I mean, Stojakovic, Christie, Bibby.
And Sprewell, the Timberwolves shooting 50% from the floor. Rebound by Weber as the Kings are -7 in rebounding tonight.
When the Kings are at their best, their big men lead them in assists.
Here comes Garnett. And Bibby comes back to reclaim the ball. The shot clock is at 9. A foul in backcourt on Latrell Sprewell.
Well, it looked like Kevin Garnett had a breakaway. The ball was knocked loose. Mike Bibby goes back to get it. He fouled on Latrell Sprewell on the reach-in. Not happy with that call. More importantly, the Kings are shooting free throws now the rest of the period. So 7:42 to go here, Kevin. Third period. How many times can they get to that line, and can they capitalize on being at the free throw line so early in the period?
Doug, the Timberwolves have picked up 4 fouls in about the last 62 seconds of the game. And you can see the disparity that's growing at the free throw category.
That's why I think that Kevin Garnett's got to take that ball to the basket. He's so good at avoiding contact with that great extension. Get some contact, get to that free throw line.
It is a 7-0 run by the Sacramento Kings, with Cassell finding Sprewell, and for Kevin Garnett, who is 5 of 14, finding a double. And he throws it for a turnover. Picked up by Stojakovic, and Minnesota's turned it over 12 times. Weber with a nice fake. Rebound by Garnett, and a foul called inside. That is on Irvin Johnson. And he's got 4 fouls in this game.
Kevin Garnett catches the ball in the low post. You can see Weber doing a nice job pushing him away, and here comes Christie. The nice hands there. You can see Sacramento's going to double team him and force him to pass the basketball. That's 4 personal fouls now on Irvin Johnson. The question's going to be, he's picked up 3 in the last minute 15. Are they going to come in with Madsen or Olowokandi? Madsen has been playing better, but Olowokandi, I still think they're going to need him in this series.
And Olowokandi was a no-show in the Denver series, and you're right, Madsen was a great compliment to Garnett in round 1. The Timberwolves are down 59-53 on TNT. 7-0 run.
And again, they're shooting free throws the rest of this period, Kevin. They want to be very aggressive, go to the basket. And we take a look at what's the difference in this game right now. It's been the free throw shooting. The Kings are +9. They've made 10, only 1 for the Wolves. And look at the turnovers. Again, the Wolves averaged less than 13 turnovers, which is second in the league in the regular season. Right. They have 12, which led to 11 points. So +9 points off turnovers. +9 at the free throw line. That's +18 in a 6-point game. Those two categories right there, the difference right now is Weber steps up and knocks the free throw down.
And you talked about this before, but Minnesota was near the bottom of the NBA in free throws attempted this season.
Well, I'll tell you how important free throws are for the Minnesota. When they outshoot their opponents at the foul line, they're 35-2. That's how vital it is for them to get to that foul line.
Good point. Michelle, Garnett, Madsen, Hassel, Sprewell, the Minnesota 5. Kevin Garnett with authority. Outside, Hassel, who's been red hot. Rebound, saved by the Timberwolves. Sprewell, Cassell for 3. That is only the third three-point hit for the Timberwolves tonight, courtesy of Sam Cassell. He's got a Minnesota high 17 points.
Again, that old bugaboo of offensive rebounding for Sacramento. They've got to clean up that defensive backboard. That cost them 3 points.
Here come the Kings. Weber, Stojakovic, Bibby, Christie, and Vlade Divac with another patented move inside the lane.
See, Mark Madsen's too small. That's why they need Oliver Candy, and that's why they need him to play well, because Vlade will just take his time and shoot that little subway hook over the top. And it's not a sky hook anymore. It's a subway hook.
Divac is 5 of 5 from the field with 12 points. He has had an effect on this game as you thought he would.
Well, you see, he's backed the ball about 3 times and nobody gives any help. You've got to come back there and help and force him to kick the ball out. And he just took his time and just maneuvered, got right to where he wanted to get on the floor.
Weber just picked up his second personal foul. We're approaching the halfway point of this third quarter. So far, Sacramento has 1 foul. The Timberwolves have 6 in this quarter. Hassel off the baseline.
I like that. He missed his last jump shot. Be aggressive, take that ball to the basket. Again, Minnesota, if they want to get to the line, they've got to be more aggressive drawing contact as they go to the basket.
Trenton Hassel in the playoffs is averaging 7 points tonight. He's got a career high in the playoffs, 15 points for the Timberwolves. And here is Bibby. Each team has hit 3 3-point shots. And Divac picked up by Madsen with 2 on the shot clock. Mike Bibby had to arch it up and a rebound by Sam Cassell, his second tonight. Cassell.
That's when Cassell is so effective, Kevin. It's not a fast break. He's bringing the ball up the floor, an early transition, and the big man steps up and sets the screen. Look where Vlade is. Vlade's back again. Remember early in the game I showed how the big men have to be up? You've got to be up knowing Cassell's going to use that screen, and he loves to shoot that shot coming down on the fast break. It's an opportunity for a 3-point play and to get Minnesota right back to within 1.
Doug, he's playing with the ruptured eardrum. How does that affect his balance?
Well, he said, I can understand why young children are crying all the time when they have an ear infection. He said, I've had problems with, I've been nauseous, I've lost my balance, my equilibrium. And he said, I can understand when young kids get these ear infections now what it does to them. He said, it's been a miserable thing for me.
Shockingly, that is only the second Minnesota free throw tonight, but it brings the Timberwolves to within 1. In contrast, the Kings have taken 14 free throw attempts. Minnesota's on an 8-2 run. Here comes Stojakovic with the defensive hassle right on him. Shot clock at 9 as Peja tries to work it inside. And a Trenton Hassel foul. That is the second on him.
So that's how you are able to push back rallies. You get to the free throw line. Again, Stojakovic, you don't realize how big this guy is. He's 6'8", 6'9", probably weighs about 240 pounds. So he just sort of what I call crab dribbled himself down in the lane. He got Hassel so deep he had to take the foul. This guy's the #1 free throw shooter in the NBA, so you would expect this to be 2 points. So you counter that little rally by getting to the free throw line.
53 consecutive free throws, including the playoffs for Peja Stojakovic. And Friday night on ESPN, the Pistons host the Nets. Sunday on ABC, Game 3, Lakers and San Antonio Spurs. This is a streak for Stojakovic now at 54 straight that has gone over 18 ball games. And here is Kevin Garnett. As he tries to do a pirouette, Weber picks up his 3rd personal foul in a game that has had 4 ties and 3 lead changes and has seen the Kings lead by as many as 11. And the Timberwolves up by 2.
It's a very well-played game. You've got 2 teams playing at a very high level. Brad Miller checking into the game, and what a catalyst he was in game 4 and 5 for Sacramento. Vlade will sit down right now. And Brad Miller now will play out on the floor with Chris Webber. It's a nice little matchup.
Some guys play better off the bench. Some guys play better as starters. What does Miller play better at?
Well, he plays better as a starter, but he understands right now that he's got to get his rhythm coming off the bench because that's what he's going to do.
Nice rotation. Hassel into Christie. They have guarded him better in this second half. Closer, I should say, in this second half.
That's another turnover. That's 13.
Bibby to Miller. Stojakovic picked up by Hassel. Little flash of double team by Madsen.
He loves this little step back jumper.
Peja partially deflected and picked up by Sprewell. Great defense by Trenton Hassel.
He's got long arms, did a nice job timing that play.
Sprewell to Kevin Garnett, who's got 10 points and 13 rebounds. Great dish to Madsen.
Boy, does a nice job here, Hassel. Watch how he stays down. He realizes he loves this little spinning jump shot, gets that hand up, gets a piece of the basketball. You know, Kevin, this last play, to me, is so indicative of how unselfish Kevin Garnett. He has a drive, and it looks like he can get all the way to the basket, maybe get a foul. He shovels the ball off to Mark Madsen, you know, to get an opportunity to go to the free throw line. And that's when Kevin Garnett, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a more unselfish superstar than this guy right here. What he brings to this team. This guy reminds me so much of Michael Jordan and his passion and the electricity that he brings to the game. You can just almost feed off what he brings to this game with his energy.
Well said. Chris Webber with a great-looking hook shot. He's got 13 points. The Kings answer. Back up by 3. Approaching 4 to play in the third. It's Garnett with Miller on him. A physical defender is Miller. And Garnett is 5 of 15. And a shove on Madsen. And a foul.
Now, Mark Madsen's got to be smart. You're 80 feet away from the basket. There are hustle plays, and there are plays that get you in trouble. The ball is loose here. Let's watch Madsen. You go for this loose ball. You don't ever want to take away a guy's hustle. Did you see right there as he leaned over, he pushed Miller in the back. Miller is a 78% free throw shooter. So once again, guys, go to the free throw line and have an opportunity to keep the lead. That's why, Kevin, in free throw situations and these kind of, you've got to get to that foul line, and that's what Minnesota's going to do a better job of in this series.
Dougie is 78%, like you say, in the regular season, but because of that elbow for Sidus in his right elbow, in the playoffs, he is 38%, 7 of 19 from the line.
And he hit that big jump shot. Remember in game 2, they might have been knocked out had he not hit that jump shot in game 2. Dallas might have taken the home court advantage away, which they would have, and they probably won both games at home. That's how one shot changed the series.
Miller's got the bad elbow and the bad right shoulder. And look how open Hassel is. Rebound by Garnett. There's a whistle inside, and there is a Kevin Garnett foul, and that is number 3 on the MVP.
Let me show you what they're doing on screen roll here. Watch as Kevin Garnett comes over. Now watch Stojakovic. He's guarding Hassel. He comes all the way over and makes them throw the ball to Hassel. That's why he's getting a lot of these shots. So you can see they're not forcing their big men to come out and play the screen. They're running the weak side guy over and forcing them to pass the ball to Hassel. That's the way they've started playing their screen roll defense in this series.
Doug, that's the 9th foul this quarter against the Timberwolves as Miller gives the Kings a 68-63 lead with under 4 to play in the third.
If I'm Flip Saunders, I tell Kevin Garnett, the next time you get that basketball, you drive in there and you go strong to the basket, create contact, and I promise you, you'll shoot 2 free throws.
Can you believe Garnett has not taken a free throw shot tonight? And what, against Denver, he was 6-7 free throw attempts a game.
Go right in and there you go.
Yep.
You call it walk.
Oh, and a travel on Kevin Garnett.
Wow, I didn't see that. But I like that play by Kevin Garnett. Let's watch here as he wheels in. I guess he took the extra half step there, but you don't see it called that much, although we've seen a lot of traveling violations called over the last 4 or 5 games in the playoffs.
That's Chris Webber then in Game 5 against Dallas. Here comes Stojakovic over Hassel. Missing badly. Stojakovic 3 of 12. It's Cassell. Sprewell into Garnett. Doubled by Miller and Webber. And out of the reach of Hassel and out of bounds and off Minnesota, and that is the 15th Minnesota turnover. So the Timberwolves tonight, 16 assists and 15 turnovers. A very efficient Sacramento team with 16 assists and only 4 turnovers. It's been a rough go for Kevin Garnett. 5 of 15 from the field, 10 points, and his Wolves are down 69-63.
Committed to not allowing Kevin Garnett to post up. We're going to take a look here. Here Brad Miller comes up. You see the double team. Stojakovic takes the man. They're going to force the pass to come out to Hassel here, and Bibby's going to make that cover. So Bibby's going to be on his way over, as you see here. So what they're doing is they're going to be very aggressive on screen roll with Cassell. They're going to make him pass the ball, and anytime KG gets the ball in the low post, they're going to try to double team him. And it's created some confusion. They're trying to take these two guys out of the game. And when you look at the numbers, Kevin Garnett's free well are 7 for 24. Weber and Stojakovic only 8 of 23. Once again, the difference is the foul line. 16 of 20 for Sacramento, 4 of 4 for Minnesota, plus 12 at the foul line.
Michael Olowokandi has come in for the Timberwolves with Fred Hoiberg, and an outside shot by Bibby. Klein's going to pick up by Hoiberg with Manson, Cassell, Sprewell, and Olowokandi, who has got to give Minnesota some good minutes. A 3 by Sam Cassell.
Once again, it's that drag screen again in transition. Your big guys cannot fall asleep and get back. They've got to step up and guard him. That's his bread and butter.
Cassell and Bibby each with 23. Weber has it rim out, rebound inside, picked up by Fred Hoiberg. The 2-point guards and what we thought would be the key matchup of the series going right now, point for point, 23 apiece in the final 2.5 to play in the third. It's Sprewell who sheds himself for Bibby. Picked up by Weber.
Had a wide open shot, just pulled the string and a little bit too much of a hurry.
Here come the Kings, Doug, shooting 44%. Another turnover. Their second in the last 25 minutes. It's Cassell with the miss. Minnesota is shooting 49% for the game.
Sam's a little gimpy after that play. We'll have to keep our eye on him. You know, Mike Bibby's going to try to go right back at him, but a steal.
That is a foul on Mike Bibby. On the hustle of Sam Cassell, who has won 2 championships as an NBA player, both with the Houston Rockets in the mid-90s.
Sam maybe just laying in the weeds here. Looked like he was hurt, and he gets a steal. This is his 93rd playoff game, so you know this guy's a tremendous amount of playoff experience.
It's 2 fouls now on Bibby. Walk to the other end where Cassell will shoot free throws for the Timberwolves, and he is 21 of 22 coming into tonight. And this is his second trip, and now he is 2 of 2 tonight. Get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune into the NBA TV playoff show, Destination Finals. It's every weeknight at 6 o'clock, only on NBA TV.
Kevin, you got to love the resiliency right now of Minnesota. Sacramento's outplayed them. They've beaten with the foul line. They've beaten with turnovers. They've done a good job taking Kevin Garnett out of the game, and you look up and it's only a 1-point game. Flip Saunders' team is hanging around here for a strong finish.
It's Weber against Manson. And a foul inside. It's on Chris Weber.
See, Manson's not a shot blocker, so Chris Weber can fake him all he wants. He's not going to leave his feet. And what happened was Weber thought he had him in the air. He leaned into him, took a bad shot, and then came over the back.
Weber's got 4 fouls.
Well, remember now, when Weber sat down in Game 5, his team went on a run. We saw the same thing in Dallas in Game 4. So this team has played very good stretches of basketball without him. Minnesota cannot let up now, and they see him go sit down.
Doug Manson is 2 of 2 tonight from the free throw line and 5 of 11 for the series, and throws up an air ball. For this season, Mark Manson 48% from the free throw line. If he hits, he ties with 1:46 to play in the third.
Those weren't pretty. No, air ball and then a curve ball.
Now look at Olowokandi. He chases down the loose ball, and the Timberwolves with the buck 35 to play in the third, with Hoiberg on the mismatch and Divac. And they look inside for Manson, grinding away. Oh, Mark Manson has just given Minnesota a 1-point lead.
I'll tell you, this guy, you put he and Kevin Garnett out there together, they make coffee nervous.
Here comes Joe Christie, jousting with Hoiberg. Anthony Peeler in the game with the drive, and Manson takes it.
He's turned the game around with his energy and his hustle. Look at him. And this is the kind of guy you have to have on your team.
Wheeler picks up his second personal foul for the Kings.
Look at him step in here. He takes the charge. All this happening with Kevin Garnett sitting on the bench and getting a rest going into the fourth period.
While the Timberwolves are dragging at the free throw line in comparison, taking 12 less free throw attempts, they lead in rebounding by 13. Hoiberg. D-Box with the rebound. Timberwolves are on a 7-0 run, and here comes Doug Christie. He is 2 of 6. There are no fouls to give either way. Brad Miller off the bench, 2 of 3. Finds himself in a torture chamber, and a foul is called inside. And I believe it is Hoiberg, or was it Madsen? Cassell, who came from the side and picks up the foul. And Sam Cassell with his first personal foul of the game.
As we look back on this period, it's going to be the free throws that have kept Sacramento in it. Remember, they got there at the 12 or 7:42 mark. 7:42 mark, and it is keeping them in this ball game right now as Minnesota is making a run.
How about the big man Miller at the free throw line tonight, 4 of 5.
Well, he's starting to play good basketball again. You can see he's feeling better.
You're right.
His arm is better. He's moving better. That foot injury, he had a bad shoulder.
He said in the Sacramento Bee this week he's feeling as good as he has felt in a long time. Cassell. Sprewell. Hoiberg for 3. That's what he does so well, but in this series, I should say in the playoffs, he has struggled from above the arc. Christie for 2 and puts it down. 2-1. Yep.
It's only going to be 0.6 of a second by the time that ball goes in, so that quick shot really didn't help them. Again, now Sam Cassell is the guy who loves to take the shot at the end of the quarter. Sacramento knows that. I would expect them to make him pass the basketball. They do have their best defender on him in Doug Christie if Mike Bibby sits and gets a little rest.
Christie number 5 in steals this season. Madsen with the screen. Cassell for 3. And that ties the ball game at 73.
See, the big man didn't get out again. Brad Miller's man went out to set the screen. He was too slow getting out there. You have to chase out with your big man.
Here comes Christie and trying to break the tie and beat the buzzer at 3. And we come to the end of the third. And everybody on their feet. With Sam Cassell, 18 of Minnesota's 26 third-quarter points, authored by Sam Cassell, second team All-NBA. Here's 3, ties it at 73. At the end of 3, these are the playoffs on TNT.